If you're having trouble getting up and down from a chair, you are in the right place. I did a poll in my community recently, and what I found is that the thing people were having the most trouble with was getting up and down from a chair. Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm a physical therapist, and today I'm going to show you how to leverage physics to help you get up and down easier, plus show you two simple exercises that you can do to strengthen your legs, and that'll make getting up and down from a chair easier. So I've got my sturdy chair here, and I'm going to have a seat. Now, when you're sitting down in the chair, if you're sitting back, that's great until it's time to get standing up. What you'll want to do is just scoot forward in the chair. Make sure your feet are firmly planted on the floor. I notice a lot of times, especially if people have pain, they'll put one leg forward and that'll just make it a lot harder to stand up. Then we'll make sure we have our feet firmly planted on the ground. Now you'll notice that my knees are over my toes and that my toes are just slightly behind my knees. And that's going to help me leverage my body weight just a little bit easier to make it easier to stand. Next, I'm going to hinge forward from my hips, keeping my back straight and my chest up as I push up from my thighs to stand up. Now, if your chair has armrests, you can certainly use those. If not, you can just use your hands on your legs. So first, we're going to scoot forward in the chair, making sure our feet are firmly planted on the ground. Then we just want to make sure that our knees are in front of our toes so that we can leverage our body weight. Then we'll push on our legs as we hinge forward from our hips, standing up just like that. Now, the next thing I'd like to show you is a simple exercise that you can do. At home, you'll do between 8 and 12 repetitions, depending on your fitness level, and you'll want to do between 2 and 3 sets. So I'm just going to stand up and sit down a few times. Practicing standing up and sitting down is probably one of the most functional activities that you can do because it's so important. From getting out of bed in the morning to getting up from the sofa or even getting up when you're in the bathroom, this motion is very functional and very necessary in everyday life. If you find getting up and down from the chair still a little too difficult, what you can do is put a cushion or a pillow in your chair and use that to give you a little extra height. What that's going to do is it's going to make it just a little bit easier for you to stand up and sit down. The other exercise that you can do at home is a mini squat. You'll get a sturdy chair or perhaps stand at a counter, and you'll have your feet about hip distance apart, and you're just going to keep your back straight as you bend your knees and then return to the start position. As you're doing this, you want to make sure your knees aren't collapsing in and that they stay right over your toes and come back up to the start. Again, you can do between 8 and 12 repetitions, and you can do 2 to 3 sets. If you find this type of content helpful, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there's any areas that you're having trouble with, and I'd love to problem solve it with you. In the meantime, you can watch this video here.